Have you ever found yourself lying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, feeling exhausted but unable to fall asleep? Maybe you've even thought to yourself, something just doesn't feel right, but you can't quite put your finger on it. If you're over 65, these restless nights might not just be frustrating, they could be dangerous. As we age, the way our bodies respond to even the smallest habits, like what we do before bed, becomes more critical. The truth is, some bedtime routines that seem harmless or even comforting can quietly take a toll on our heart, brain, and longevity. And many seniors don't even know they're doing them. In this video, we're going to have an honest conversation about 3 common bedtime habits that doctors have flagged as potentially deadly if you're over 65. We're not here to scare you, but we are here to empower you. Because the more you understand how your body works at this stage of life, the more control you have over your health and well-being. Let's start with something that often flies under the radar: eating right before bed. Now, I know how tempting it is. Maybe it's a bowl of cereal, a handful of cookies, or just something to calm your stomach before sleep. But what most people don't realize is that as we get older, our digestive system slows down significantly. That means food stays in the stomach longer and can interfere with our sleep quality, spike blood sugar levels overnight, and even strain the heart. For folks with underlying heart issues, diagnosed or undiagnosed, this extra burden can increase the risk of heart attacks at night. Yes, that's right. There's a quiet link between late-night eating and nighttime cardiac events, and doctors are increasingly sounding the alarm, especially for those over 65. What's more, eating late doesn't just disturb your sleep physically, it affects your hormones, too. Your body produces melatonin to help you fall asleep, but when it's busy digesting food, it can delay or reduce that natural hormone production. That means even if you fall asleep, it might be lighter, more fragmented, and less restorative. You wake up tired, your energy dips the next day, and the cycle continues. Now, let's talk about another habit that sounds harmless but isn't: falling asleep with the TV on. We've all done it. You want a little background noise, something comforting, maybe even familiar. But studies have shown that the light and sound from a television, even with your eyes closed, can disrupt the deepest stages of sleep, especially in older adults. Here's why that matters. Deep sleep is when your body repairs itself. It's when your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, and your brain flushes out toxins. When you interrupt that cycle, your body doesn't get the chance to recover the way it's supposed to. Over time, poor quality sleep like this has been linked to an increased risk of dementia, high blood pressure, and even premature death. And yet, it's a habit that feels so innocent. That's why it's so dangerous. You don't feel the damage in one night. You don't even feel it after a week. But slowly, silently, it chips away at your health. There's one more habit I want to touch on before we move forward, and it's one that often goes unnoticed: staying in bed scrolling on your phone or tablet. You might think, it's just a few minutes before sleep, but those minutes add up in more ways than one. First, the blue light from screens tells your brain to stay awake. It suppresses melatonin just when your body needs it most. Second, the content you're consuming, whether it's news, social media, or even just a game, can overstimulate your brain, making it harder to wind down. And third, the posture, holding a phone while lying in bed, can strain your neck and back, especially if you fall asleep with it in your hand. But beyond the physical effects, there's an emotional toll. Constant digital stimulation can increase anxiety and restlessness, making it even harder to fall into deep, restorative sleep. And for seniors, who are already more vulnerable to anxiety, this is no small issue. These small habits, eating late, falling asleep to a screen, using devices in bed, seem innocent. But they can quietly accumulate into serious health risks after 65. The good news is that none of this is permanent. With just a few mindful changes, you can reclaim your sleep and protect your health. Now that we've uncovered how even the quietest habits can lead to real harm, let's keep going. There's still one habit left that surprises even the most health-conscious seniors. Now that we've looked at late night eating, background TV noise, and screen time in bed, let's talk about the third habit, one that's not only dangerous but often misunderstood: ignoring nighttime bathroom urges. Yes, something as simple as not getting up to use the restroom during the night can quietly become a major health threat. Many seniors, especially those with mobility issues or balance concerns, tend to hold it or delay going because they don't want to risk a fall or disturb their sleep partner. It makes sense emotionally, but physically, it can have serious consequences. First, when your bladder fills up and you ignore it, it can put stress on your kidneys. Over time, that repeated stress can raise your risk for urinary tract infections, kidney problems, and in some cases, even heart strain, especially for those who already have underlying cardiovascular issues. And let's talk about the risk of falls for a moment. One of the leading causes of injury and death among seniors is falling, particularly during nighttime hours when lighting is poor and alertness is low. If you wait too long and have to rush to the bathroom, your risk of slipping or stumbling skyrockets. But there's another layer most people don't talk about. Holding in urine actually sends stress signals throughout your body. Your blood pressure can rise. Your heart rate can increase. You might even experience shortness of breath or agitation, all while trying to rest. So what's the solution? It's not about forcing yourself to get up 10 times a night. It's about preparing your body and your environment to make nighttime bathroom trips safe and easy. A small nightlight, slip-resistant rugs, and a clear path to the toilet can literally be life-saving. And let's not forget hydration timing. If you're drinking a lot of water right before bed, you're setting yourself up for overnight interruptions. Try to shift your water intake to earlier in the day. That way, you stay hydrated without overloading your bladder when you need rest. What's interesting is that all three of these bedtime habits, late eating, screen exposure, and bathroom delay, don't feel deadly. They feel small, quiet, harmless. And that's exactly what makes them so dangerous. Because when you don't see an immediate consequence, you assume there isn't one. But the truth is, after 65, our bodies are more sensitive. We heal slower. We react differently. And we need sleep more than ever, deep, restful, healing sleep. Every poor habit before bed is like poking holes in your own boat. You may float for a while, but eventually, it starts to sink. The good news is, this is all reversible. You're not stuck with these habits. In fact, you have more control than you think. And the benefits of changing just one of them can ripple into your days. You'll feel more alert. Your blood pressure may improve. Your memory sharpens. Even your mood lifts. And here's the beautiful part: changing your bedtime routine doesn't require big leaps. You don't need to spend money. You don't need fancy equipment or doctor's appointments. All it takes is awareness, consistency, and a little compassion for yourself. Because sleep isn't a luxury. It's not something you earn after a long day. It's a basic need. It's medicine. It's where your body does its deepest healing, especially after 65. So treating your bedtime like a sacred ritual isn't just good advice, it's essential to long life and better living. I know that for many people, changing routines, especially ones we've had for decades, can feel strange. But every powerful change starts with a single decision. A decision to say, I deserve better rest. I want better mornings. I care about my future. And if you've already made it this far into the video, then I know something else about you. You're not someone who settles. You're someone who's curious, motivated, and open to learning. And that right there? That mindset alone is a huge part of staying healthy and strong as you age. So tonight, as you wind down for bed, take a moment. Reflect on your current habits. What do you eat late at night? Is the TV your lullaby? Is your phone the last thing you see before sleep? And do you hesitate to get up when nature calls? Even adjusting one of those things, just one, can set a whole new tone for your nights and your mornings. Coming up next, we'll explore how to build the ideal bedtime routine for people over 65, based on what sleep experts and doctors recommend. It's not about perfection. It's about small, meaningful choices that add up to better sleep, better health, and a better life. So now that we've looked at the risks, it's time to shift gears and talk about what we can actually do about them. Because knowing is only half the battle. The real power comes in action, especially the small, simple actions that build up over time to transform our health from the inside out. Let's start with something easy: light. Most of us don't even think about lighting as a health issue. But the truth is, your brain's entire sleep cycle is tied to light exposure. And after 65, your eyes become more sensitive to artificial light, especially the kind coming from screens, overhead bulbs, and even night lights that are too bright. If you want to fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, one of the best things you can do is start dimming your lights at least an hour before bed. That tells your brain it's time to start winding down. It gently nudges melatonin into motion, the hormone that helps your body relax and drift off. Try switching from ceiling lights to soft, amber lamps in the evening. Avoid using your phone or computer without a blue light filter. And if you're reading in bed, choose a low-lumen, warm bulb instead of the bright white ones. It sounds simple, but this single shift can dramatically improve sleep quality over time. Now let's talk about movement before bed, or more specifically, the lack of it. A lot of people over 65 think that exercising too close to bedtime is a bad idea. And while intense workouts late at night can keep you wired, gentle movement is actually one of the best things you can do to prime your body for restful sleep. Think about a slow, relaxing walk after dinner. Or some gentle stretching in your living room with soft music. These movements help your muscles relax, release built-up tension, and ease joint stiffness that often makes it harder to get comfortable in bed. More importantly, they stimulate blood flow to your brain and organs, supporting everything from memory to digestion. And when your body feels good physically, it signals safety to your nervous system. You're no longer bracing or tense or on edge. That's when your heart rate drops. Your breathing slows. And your whole system shifts into a state of deep, peaceful rest. Which leads us to the last, and possibly most overlooked, habit: mental clutter. If you've ever laid in bed rehashing conversations, worrying about bills, or wondering if you remembered to lock the door, you are not alone. Mental stress is one of the top reasons seniors struggle with sleep. And often, we don't even realize we're carrying it until the lights go off and the silence sets in. One of the best tools to calm a racing mind is something incredibly simple: a notebook. Keep one beside your bed and use it to brain dump anything that's still on your mind before you sleep. It doesn't have to be poetic or organized. Just let it out. Grocery lists, to-dos, worries, memories, anything that's spinning in your head. This act tells your brain, you don't have to hold on to this anymore. It gives your thoughts a place to rest, too. And many seniors who try this report falling asleep faster and waking up with more clarity and energy. You might also want to try a few deep breaths while lying in bed, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. This breathing pattern actually engages your parasympathetic nervous system, which calms your body and prepares it for sleep naturally, without pills or side effects. Remember, none of this is about achieving some perfect bedtime routine overnight. It's about tuning into your own body, honoring the changes that come with age, and making tiny adjustments that protect your health. If you've ever said, "I just can't sleep like I used to," it's not your fault. But it is your responsibility, and your opportunity, to do something about it. Because restful sleep isn't just about feeling good the next morning. It's about protecting your heart, supporting your brain, rebuilding your muscles, strengthening your immune system, and giving your body the fuel it needs to carry you through your best years with strength and joy. So tonight, take one small step. Maybe you put away the phone a little earlier. Maybe you swap out your nightlight. Maybe you stretch your legs before brushing your teeth. Whatever it is, do it with intention. Because that one decision is a message to yourself: I matter. My health matters. My life still has chapters worth writing. And now, if you found this video helpful, share it with someone else who might need it. You never know whose life you could change with one conversation. And if you've already made some of these changes or noticed certain bedtime habits affecting your health, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. This community is here for each other because we are never too old to grow, learn, and protect our future. Don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss content that truly supports your well-being. Here's to better sleep, healthier nights, and the powerful choices that make every tomorrow brighter.